So welcome back. So as you can see, it's looking so good. So I've just come back on now on this side because I want to show you, like, if your client wants a bit of dimension going through the colour mount, use the root colour and bring it down further, as you can see on this panel here. So you bring it down further, and then I've used the crystal clear on the ends. So as I get towards the top, I want to bring the root colour just a little bit more below than what I've just previously done, but not as much as what I've done here. This is going to give it my depth. So when the hair is like curled and that, you want to see that pop of depth. So I'm just going to bring that root colour down a little bit. So as you can see, I've got quite a fair bit of hair to work with. So I'm now going to use my crystal clear through that section there, just so it's going to make the colour pop with the blonde. So that's just the girlie just come back from a walk. Yeah, so as you get towards the top, I just do two sections with the root colour, which is a little bit further down, just to give it that bit of depth that the client wants. And I just think it's really nice just to break that colour up. There we go. Then wipe your hands. So I'm on my last section on the top. So comb that root colour through. Bring it down a little bit further. And use your two fingers just to blend that colour in. As you can see, I've got a lot of hair to work with here. So I'm just going to wipe my hands. And now I'm just going to go in with my 9RG with the crystal clear. So that is the lightest colour that I'm using. So through the back, I've used 9RG, and then I've used 9RG with crystal clear. But what I've done on the top, because when the hair's like curled and that, I just want that blonde to really pop. So I'm just using the 9RG with crystal clear to keep it a lot lighter. Okay, so that is all my section done. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on the next section. Okay, always keep your hands clean as you work. So I'm just going to move her around. That's it. Right, so we've combed it all the way through, okay? I'm going to take my diagonal section and then clip the hair out of the way, all right? And then I'm just going to comb my root colour through. I just want to bring that down a little bit further, so I'm just going to paste that on and just blend through. Wipe your hands. And now I'm just going to go in with my 9RG through that midsection. And when I put the colour on, I just overlap the root colour underneath, and then I just smudge that in all together. So using your two fingers and just smudging, okay? And then right on the ends, I'm going to use my 9RG with crystal clear. Okay, so don't be afraid that if the colours overlap, it doesn't matter, because obviously it just blends all in and it just really makes that seamless colour. So I've got my 7RG, smudge that down, and then I've got my 9RG, smudge that in at the top and smudge down towards the mid-lengths and ends, and then I've got my 9RG on the ends. And like I said, always keep your hands clean as you go, because you don't want any colour transfer. So when you're clipping the hair, make sure you clip the hair out of the way onto the hair that's not been coloured, okay? Right, so I'm just going to take my next section, so I'm working on my angle. And the thing is, when I do colour melts, it's a lot of visual as well, so I might think, actually, I want a bit of a darker colour going through there, because it's all adding dimension for it as well and making that blonde pop as well. So I'm just going to do my root colour, just bring that down a bit further, And also, if there's obviously the root melt that's on there previously, that's down a bit further, I will work with what's there. Okay, clean my hands, then go in with my 9RG. Okay. Remember, keep swiping that brush, pushing that product through, using your 2 fingers and smudge them in together. And then I'm using my 9RG with Crystal Clear through those ends. Okay, wiping our hands. I love doing colour melts though, because you can just really get some really nice effects with colour. And remember, this is all semi-colour as well, so I'm just depositing the colour, not lifting. Okay, so I'm taking my next section down. So there's quite a fair bit of colour there already, so I'm now going to go straight in with my 9RG. Swiping that brush in different directions, really pushing that colour through. Blending that up to the root as well, because you want it to be all seamless. That's the whole point of a colour melt, you want it all to be seamless. And then I'll work on the ends with my 9RG. So if you've not done any colour melts before, it's so good, and I know it can be a bit scary because it's all new as well if you've never done it before. But once you've done one, you want to do a lot more. So here, as you can see, that is lining in with this colour over here, where obviously I want a bit of depth through. So now I'm going to take my root colour, okay, and bring it right down through the mid-lengths and ends, okay. But I'm not taking it through to right to the ends, okay. Can you see the ends are dry? So then I'm just gonna wipe my hands. Get the lightest colour, 9RG with Crystal Clear, and put that through those ends. So we're going to have a nice bit of depth going on with light ends. So I'm now going to take my next section down and I'm going to do the same. So we're going to get a bit of dimension going through. Remember, always clip the hair on the driest bit where there's no colour, so there's no colour transfer. So I'm just going to take my root colour, the 7RG, work it through, push it through to the mid-lengths and ends. Mid-length, sorry, not ends. Can you see I'm swiping the brush, really pushing that product through. And then you can see those ends are a lot, like, obviously dry. There's no colour on there whatsoever. I then wipe my hands. And I put the 9RG with Crystal Clear. And blend that all in together. So I've done a fair bit of depth through there now. So in my next section, I want it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to work in with my 9RG and 9RG Crystal Clear through those ends. So I don't want to put any more root colour through there because that's enough. So I'm just going to go straight in with my 9RG. And then I'm going to work with the Crystal Clear through those ends. And I'm going to work right to the top. And I'm going to do the same as what I've done on the other side. So I'm going to keep my two sections a little bit lighter. And yeah, so I'm going to work right to the top here. And then I'll be back and then I'll talk you through the front. Okay, so see you in a minute.